If you're trying to learn trading from YouTube, I want to give you a little perspective. It's not that the videos out there are bad. There's honestly a lot of great content out there, but most traders approach it in a way that slows them down, sometimes by years. And nobody wants that. There is a model for learning in the Bible that's over 3,000 years old. It works for trading just like it works for anything else in life, but most people ignore it. If you apply it though, you can save yourself a lot of time, a lot of frustration, and maybe even avoid blowing up a few accounts. I want to share with you what I wish someone had told me when I first started. So the question is, what's the right way to approach learning on YouTube? Proverbs gives us a model, and it's shockingly practical. It says, turn your ear to wisdom, apply your heart to understanding, call out for insight, and search for it like silver and hidden treasure. That's talking specifically about growing in the fear of the Lord. But the principle works in any area of life. Whether you want to be a teacher, an engineer, an athlete, or even a trader. Here's what it looks like in plain English. First, turn your ear to wisdom. Wisdom means someone has already figured this out. Learn from them instead of trying to reinvent the wheel. And I'll be honest with you, this one hit me different because I still remember the first time I actually did it. We'll go over the next 3 steps here in a second, but I remember when I first came across ICT. ICT became my mentor, and yes, everything he did was for free. It was crazy how it all happened. I was bouncing around from idea to idea, video to video, and out of frustration, I finally went to the Lord and I said, Lord, I need you to teach me how to day trade. I've shared this story before. 6 days later, I was scrolling YouTube and I found a video. I literally said out loud, this is insane. It was an ICT concept video, and right then, the Lord said, this is the answer to your prayer. I immediately canceled every other mentorship and course, and I decided I was going all in with ICT. That's when my growth really started, when I committed. I committed myself fully to that process. That's what it looked like for me to turn my ear to wisdom. Now, Proverbs takes it a step further with the second step, which is apply your heart to understanding. That's more than just watching a YouTube video. It's choosing to really trust the process your mentor is teaching you, even when it's uncomfortable or it feels slow. It's saying, I'm not going to skip ahead. I'm not going to cherry pick the parts that I like. I'm going to walk this whole thing out. That kind of heart posture changes how you learn. The third is calling out for insight. You have to ask the question when you're stuck. Seek clarity. Don't just nod along and move on. Back when ICT was teaching his 2023 mentorship, I'd write my questions down, and sometimes I couldn't get the answers that I wanted right away, but I'd keep looking, I'd keep listening, and sometimes weeks later, the answer would just click, or I'd hear him explain it in a way that was new, that made sense to me. The point is, don't just stay silent with your confusion. Go after the answer until you have it. And fourth, search for it like treasure. Treasure hunters don't give up after 10 minutes of digging. They keep going because they know the reward is worth it. If I told you I buried $100,000 in your backyard, would you dig for 10 minutes and then quit? No. If you trusted me, you keep going until you found it. If the shovel wasn't good enough, you get heavy equipment. You do whatever it took because you knew the treasure is real. Trading is no different. If I told you on the other side of your learning was $1,000 days, $10,000 weeks, maybe even a $50,000 month, would you work to get there? Would you endure the process? That's the mindset you need if you're going to succeed. Now here's the challenge with learning from free videos. YouTube can be your teacher, but only if you approach it the right way. Most traders watch 15 different voices. They grab a piece here, a little piece there, and they try to glue it all together. But without that solid foundation, that turns into confusion instead of clarity. If you're just starting out, you need to commit to one voice and one process and follow it all the way through before mixing in other perspectives. I'm going to show you how to set the guardrails to actually do that. But first, let's talk about the biggest problem with YouTube. The biggest gap with YouTube is this. You can't raise your hand mid-video and say, hey, how do I do this with high resistance liquidity? Sure, maybe you can drop a comment and sometimes the creator might reply, but often you're left searching for answers somewhere else. That's the value of a paid course or mentorship. Access. Access to ask questions, to get feedback, to troubleshoot when you hit a wall. YouTube can give you a good head start, but without access to someone who's been there, you're gonna spend extra months, even years, trying to figure out the missing pieces. If you choose the free route, that's fine, but set the right expectations. Set the guardrails for success. Here's what I would recommend. Number 1, pick a mentor you trust and stick with them. I'll prove this here biblically here in a second, but let's continue. Number 2, Give yourself time. This is a 2 to 5 year journey for most traders, period. It could even take longer depending on your aptitude for the financial markets. And number 3, guard your input. Don't let other trading voices pull you in 20 different directions. It's so easy to see another video titled, "How I Made $40,000 in One Trade," and think, I gotta check out this guy's strategy. But every time you chase another voice, you're stepping away from your foundation. And that's when you're starting over without realizing it. I remember the first trading video I ever watched. It was about RSI indicators. I don't do anything with them right now. But after watching it, I thought, I can do this. I put some money in an account, started trading, and within a few days or a week, I lost over $1,000. My reaction is the strategy didn't work. So I went back to YouTube to look for another one. And just like that, I was stuck in the cycle, jumping from idea to idea, from strategy to strategy, never building a foundation. Looking back, I realized I threw away probably 12 months chasing strategies that never had a chance of working. That's exactly what I'm trying to tell you, to stick with one mentor and one approach. Otherwise, you'll spend more time starting over than actually learning. I want you to picture yourself 2 to 5 years from now. If you keep bouncing between voices, where are you gonna be? Probably right where you are right now, or worse, burnt out and frustrated. But if you stick with one process, one mentor, and you do the work consistently, that's when you'll look back and realize you've built something solid, something with a foundation. That's exactly how it worked in the Bible. Elisha had an Elijah. Timothy had a Paul. The disciples, they had Jesus. None of them learned from 10 mentors at once. They fully submitted to one teacher and stayed until they were ready to stand on their own. That is the path to mastery. If you're committed to the free route, I've got plenty of videos here that will help you build that foundation. Watch them, take notes, and apply what you've learned. But if you want to speed up the process, get personal feedback, learn day trading from a biblical perspective, that's what we do inside the Purpose Driven Trader Academy. You can find the link down in the description. However you decide to learn, just remember to turn your ear to wisdom, apply your heart to understanding, and search for it like silver. That is how you build a trading foundation that lasts. God bless.